Hi guys, let's jump straight into 5 great ways to start your film, or 5 outstanding movie beginnings, openings. Okay, number 1 is start in action. Start with something happening. It can be a sequence, but as long as we know that there is something happening. I'm going to go Dark Knight here. Opening shot, glass getting blown out the side of our office block, zip line down, and we start seeing a heist happening. It could be like Saving Private Ryan, the bullets whizzing past. We're straight into action, and it makes people, it doesn't give them a chance to settle in or get comfortable or assess. Straight away they have to react to their emotions. Action films work on the slight peak of adrenaline. The adrenaline and then resolve, that's a bit of a dopamine release, and it's, oh, I feel worried, oh, I feel better, I feel worried, I feel better, oh, I don't know what, it's those things. We start with those, bang, bang, start with something big, start with a big hit on something, and that will get them in. It's like a big drum beat. It's the first song. I mean, I saw Kiss in 1975, 77 maybe, in the Sydney Cricket Ground, and they started off with Detroit Rock City. They didn't start with one of the slow songs, it was straight into ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It was a great concert, long time ago. But that's the big hit. You come on with a big number, and you start with your action. Forces people to engage, to sit in, they get their adrenaline peaked, which makes them feel better, they get a bit of a dopamine, they get all that emotional goodness that they want. That's number 1. Start in action. And also remember, with action, fast, slow, like a Pixies song. Think of a rock song that'll always be heavy, then it'll break into the chorus. It'll be a bit of different rhythm. You have to have varies in rhythm. You have to have that light and dark. One note all the time is droning. Even if it's high-paced action becomes a drone, becomes pointless. An emotional hook. You can start with something that, the same thing, what we're all heading towards with these things is an emotional reaction as fast as possible. So you start with an emotional hook. It could be an image of someone with a dead person in their arms sobbing their heart out. And you're like, oh, that's uncomfortable, I don't like that. It could be someone in fear straight away, or a funeral. How many times have we seen this? The long funeral shot. And for some reason, it always rains at funerals. So it's a funeral, everyone's standing around, it's rain, it's so sad, it's depressing. One person's back, just looking at the crowd because they can't really come and express their emotion. Hit them in the feels, make them feel something straight away, hook them with emotion. It can be a sequence, and the greatest sequence of all time is Up from Pixar. That is one of the saddest things you'll ever see, is the start of Up, and they pay it off at the end. But it is so sad, such a gotcha by the heart, rip it out, stomp it on the ground and make you feel like it's terrible. And then straight into this light-hearted little bubbly kid wanting to be a wilderness warrior or something. Changes the pace, again, straight from something really bad, but it's hooked you, into something light-hearted. Thank you for everyone who's been doing this. This is amazing. Remember to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, give us a like, the bell icon, all those sorts of things. I'd like to thank everyone who's been doing it. It's really helping the channel grow. It's reaching more people. Share this. But those little things, the like, the subscribe, comments, all that helps the YouTube algorithm understand that this might be worth showing to other people. So thank you in advance for everyone who's been doing that with the other videos, and for everyone who's going to do it now. Thanks. The third one is a flash forward. I've just written one of these. It's a good way, and a flash forward can also hook into the next one I'm going to do. But the flash forward is something which doesn't make sense immediately in a way. You're looking at the end of something, and then it could be in a midpoint, but it's something in the future. I've just written a little short script for a thing, and I started with someone staggering into a corridor holding their side, bleeding profusely. Then we cut straight to the person laying in on a bed with like electrodes and stuff hooked up to them, but they're not wounded, and they're all nice and clean. They don't look all beaten up. And you go, oh, okay. And then the more the story goes on, and then the last shot, near the last shot, is that same first shot. So we know, oh, you warned me about it, you showed me, now you've got me here. So it was a flash forward back to before. And I didn't do the 3 months earlier or 2 weeks earlier. I didn't do the heavy-handed stuff. I did it, and it was just a bit, oh, okay, but now he's perfectly good in the very next shot. Maybe that was a long time ago, but then you figure out later on it was a flash forward. And that leads into this next one, which is mystery and intrigue. Show someone something that doesn't make sense. Think of some of the, I'm trying to think of a movie where it doesn't make sense, like Donnie Darko, where there's a jet engine off a plane and smashed into his house. Or you have, I don't know, you're on a World War II boat, you're on a big naval vessel, and you see this guy walking through the naval vessel, and suddenly he looks up and there's like a spear from a Zulu warrior in a door. It looks over there and there's bows and arrows in that door. Suddenly people are going, what the? It's the WTF. It's the WTF intro. When people go, oh, and it makes them think. And when they're engaging their brain, not about the popcorn or the girl they're sitting beside in the cinema or the guy they're thinking of asking out. We don't want to engage their brain outside of what you're doing. You don't want to break that illusion. You don't want to make them think. You want to make them engage their brain by giving them something mysterious to think, I wonder how that's going to fit into the story. Or, wow, that's really strange. I didn't expect to see that. Oh, I'm going to have to pay attention to figure out why there is a Zulu spear in the door on a battleship. Dark City. Alec Provis made Dark City, then he made The Crow and things like that. But Dark City, if you watch Dark City, just the first 3 minutes maybe, it's a dark city, but there's things that don't make sense. Everyone's dressed like they're from the 1940s, but there's modern cars and old Volkswagens. And it doesn't, none of the eras seem to fit together. And you're not 100% sure, it just feels discordant. And it's mysterious and it makes you lean in. Watch Dark City. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the coolest films that didn't get a big release, it never became the film it should be. It should be loved. I think it was let down by the ending. Watch it, watch the ending, tell me what you think. You might not like the ending, but up to the last couple of scenes, magnificently made film. Amazingly good. And the last one, last but not least, is when people say, never do this. Here's the books. I'm going to mention them now. Tools, Not Rules. It's a great book. If you've already got your head around writing a bit, you know the basics of it, like, show, don't tell, which will be a video soon, and the formatting, you're using writerduet, 20% off for you, writerduet. But you're using, you know how to get yourself around, but you need something to unlock. You need the tools to get into your own head to figure out how to design a planet, how to figure out the relationship, be a protagonist and antagonist, how to come up with emotional stakes, how to figure out what really is going to be the flaws, what's going to be the challenges that the antagonistic force against. All that's in Tools, Not Rules. If you struggle with writing good log lines, which everyone does, and they're always asked for by any pitch fest, to say, give me the log line, give me that. This book, log line, very simple. Both these books are very cheap, couple of bucks. On Amazon, there'll be links below. Logline will take you through 9, 10, I think, maybe 12 different sorts of models and different ways of coming at a logline. Gives you examples, and we work our way through a couple of them in a very, very simple book. Tools, Not Rules, all the tools. 20% right of the way. There we go. And now back to the last one. The last one is the inner monologue. Everyone says don't use voiceover, but think of all the great voiceovers. A lot of the time it's nostalgic films that'll do it. My favourite year is Mark Lindbaker, who's out of Perfect Strangers, Mark Lindbaker and Peter O'Toole. Mark Lindbaker is a TV writer, and he's standing at a set of lights, and it's a crossover with The Mysterious One. He's holding a cutout of Peter O'Toole in the traffic. And he's like, if anyone ever asked me what my time in the showbiz industry was like, this was my favourite year. I got to meet my hero, Alan Swan, all in voiceover. Or Ray Liotta, ever since I could remember, I've always wanted to be a gangster. Those great, and they've got to be, if you're going to do voiceover, it's got to be that line where everyone goes, oh, that's a good line. Not maybe consciously where they go, that's a good line, but they go, oh, that's interesting. If it's just going to be blah, 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 that's not good. You've got to write good stuff. Now, if you think about these 5 things, in the 90s, there was that thing, the slice of life beginning. City of Angels, Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage. You see her riding a push bike and she's jumping around. It turns out she's a heart surgeon. But seeing someone ride a push bike through the streets, it's not mysterious. It's not mid-action. It's because, it's not about a bike riding movie. It doesn't give you any mystery. There's no emotional stakes and there's no internal monologue. It's just someone riding a bike. Oh, isn't that pretty? Meg Ryan riding a bike really fast and she's getting in people's way and they're yelling and screaming at her. And then there's the contrast. She's a surgeon. Whoopie-doo. Wasn't a great beginning to a film. It's not one of those classic things. Not one of those classic images. Not one of those classic openings. And that's what we're after. There's the quick 5. I'll list them below. And as always, guys, until next time, keep writing. Bye.